the guests that I have today. I've got Mackendy Begin. He runs. He's part of the leaders at AppGear Capital. AppGear is a private single family office, and they pride themselves on a meticulous approach to mortgage investments.
Thank you, Joel. Again, thank you for inviting me and inviting AppGear Capital.
At the beginning, tell us a little more about kind of where you went to school. What did you study? How did you end up getting into the investment space? Because we all have our own story, and then maybe we just kind of unpack it with different insights on both of our ends on just
Well, it's I was very fortunate. Being in Canada, I was a student athlete. Went to University of Montreal. Did undergrad there in political science and econ. And throughout my journey, I had great mentors. A dear mentor of mine kind of like introduced me to the world of merger and acquisition, and that's really how I got my start into finance. A lot of the kind of legwork on deal sourcing, providing a mandate from family offices, it really kind of opening me the door to a new world that I wasn't privy to until started doing merger and acquisition. Again, the family office world kind of opened up to me. Really got curious about understanding the family visions and understanding what made different families invest into different sectors. At the time, I was going quite often to Los Angeles, so I saw the whole Silicon Beach area being built, and family offices were actually really excited about that to kind of invest into the tech sector. And at the time, it wasn't kind of like interesting area for family office because they're more conservative. That's where I kind of took that being the bridge between certain investments to certain families and also presenting them with deal opportunities. Again, that really taught me a great lesson on how they do their own due diligence, and what family offices are looking in terms of value. What is a real value proposition for a family who have a long-term time horizon?
What are some other flavors that you've seen with the other families that you guys collaborate with in terms of like what they're looking for and, maybe what their goals are?
Look, what other families office that we work with look for, I would say every single family office have a different vision about returns. And that vision is really about either where they are in the family legacy cycle, either first, second, or third generation, or fourth generation. From that's going to differentiate where they are in terms of the spectrum of value prop for any co-investment or even collaboration, for example.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. And then on the venture side, have you seen some of these real estate families have a little more interest in kind of tech exposure as well? And then if so, where is kind of the optimal way for them to do that? Is it better for them to kind of build their own? This is kind of an interesting question. So is it better for them to build their own internal investment team to avoid the fees? Or is it just easier for them to just kind of invest in the funds, have the funds, trust the funds to kind of source and screen these deals? And that's kind of a common question.
In 2016, I would say the climate at the time was every family office want to build their own investment team and kind of sort their own deal and kind of build their portfolio the one way with their own vision. And they quickly realized it was quite difficult to pick winners. It's quite difficult to build the infrastructure that you need, relationship that you need, that a VC have, that a family office who's typically conservative doesn't have, and you have to kind of like expose yourself to that, right? So I saw a pivot there where from 2016, it was really keeping everything internal. We're not trying to outsource anything to, I would say 2018, 2019, people kind of realized we don't have the bandwidth to build internal team like that. Let's find great funds, and great managers to participate with, and then kind of piggyback on the alpha there. I think that narrative is still true. You always take the approach to be yourself. I've always learned to learn about each fund value prop and talk about their value proposition when I meet them. If it's a deep tech fund or if it's a deep tech growth fund, understand their portfolio and their success, their win. Talk about their win. Hey, so-and-so portfolio manager, great job on this last Series C raise. This company is actually great. Just kind of highlight their success for them to know that for them to understand that you actually been following their portfolio and following their success, and you actually know where they are in the life cycle of the fund. I think it's really powerful too for someone to understand. I really think for me, it's always been sort of like a long-term relationship. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight, but just know that I'm here, and if you have any opportunities, I'm always open to listen.
We'd love to learn a little more about like, what you guys are building, kind of like what the areas are that you think are really, really exciting.
Yeah.
That way kind of the community can kind of, be aware of those opportunities as well.
So it's quite simple. Our thesis up here, we believe that residential mortgages is an underserved sector. Most people or most funds focus on commercial and big segment of commercial.
Sure.
But we kind of created a thesis where the post COVID, we realized there's a real inefficiency in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that that efficiency is just going to keep increase over the next couple of years. We've been positioning ourselves in Toronto quite well, to the point where now we're opening ourselves to go to Alberta and eventually Vancouver.
Well, this was, really great, Mackendy. I appreciate you sharing all the insights and kind of sharing what you guys are doing. And, I think it's really helpful for the audience to understand kind of a little more about the Canadian ecosystem. So appreciate your time. Learned a lot. And then, one of us will probably be in each other's hoods in the next couple of months or something. I'll probably be up there. When you come out to New York, we'll get some people together.